in the deepest reaches of space, where time seems to stretch and the very fabric of reality feels thinner. Voyager 1 continues its lonely voyage. Launched when disco ruled the Earth and mankind hadn't yet imagined smartphones or the internet, this spacecraft has outlived its creators' wildest dreams. But what if its most important message didn't arrive in its early years, but just now, nearly 5 decades later? What if, in the frozen silence, Voyager 1 beyond the heliosphere has stumbled upon something impossible? NASA scientists have been keeping an eye on the transmissions of the spacecraft. Something strange, something that defies everything we know in logic, engineering, and thought of everything we thought we knew about deep space. This is more than just a bug. This is an anomaly, a signal that doesn't belong. And what makes it truly terrifying is that Voyager 1 may not have sent it alone. As we dive into this mystery, one question hangs heavy over the scientific community. Has Voyager 1 made contact with something or someone out there? The voyage of Voyager 1 began on September 5, 1977. It's part of an ambitious plan to explore the outer planets. Initially, its mission was modest: collect data from Jupiter and Saturn, send back a few high-resolution images, and then fade into history. But Voyager wasn't built to die quietly. Thanks to a rare planetary alignment, it used the force of gravity's slingshots to boost its trajectory into the unknown, the first object made by man to enter interstellar space. It has returned priceless data for 45 years on cosmic radiation, plasma waves, and magnetic fields that extend far beyond its expected lifespan. Today, Voyager 1 drifts 15 billion miles from the planet, yet it remains stubbornly alive. It uses a dwindling power source, a radioactive isotope generator, to maintain a few core instruments online. And through NASA's Deep Space Network, it still whispers to us across the void. The signal is faint, the data is slow, but the legacy is monumental. However, nobody expected that its latest message would be its most shockingly odd. At the beginning of 2022, something happened. NASA engineers noticed that Voyager 1 was transmitting a repetitive stream of data on endless loop of binary code that made no sense. At first, they assumed a fault in the telemetry system, a glitch, perhaps. After all, this was a 45-year-old spacecraft operating in hostile space. But the deeper they looked, the more unsettling things became. The signal wasn't random. It had structure. And more disturbing still, it seemed to come from a computer on board Voyager that hadn't worked for decades. Engineers scrambled to redirect the data flow, and eventually they restored normal communication. But the question remained: how did the probe decide to reroute its signal through a dead system? Under normal conditions, built-in failsafes would prevent that. There were no error alerts, no warnings. It was as if Voyager 1 had intentionally rerouted its data without human command, a rogue maneuver that seemed, in every way, impossible. While the glitch itself raised eyebrows, what followed next transformed doubt into silent fear. When data transmission resumed, the readings were different. Voyager 1's sensors began reporting energy fluctuations unlike anything previously recorded in interstellar space. Patterns in the magnetic field, unexplained oscillations in plasma density, and embedded within the signal a faint pulse. Not natural, not cosmic noise. A rhythmic, deliberate beat. Almost like a fingerprint etched into the fabric of space. NASA, trying to downplay the implications, suggested possible instrumentation degradation. But internal memos and leaked communications portrayed a different scene. A few scientists, off the record, admitted that the data pattern resembled artificial interference, as if Voyager had passed through or near a zone of technology not created by humans. The probe did not just stumble into darkness, it brushed up against something structured, with the anomaly growing harder to explain. NASA turned to machine learning. An AI system was trained on decades of Voyager data to isolate irregularities, What it found shocked the research team. The pattern embedded in the signal bore eerie similarities to coded transmissions, almost as if it were a handshake protocol. An attempt at contact. But from where? And why now, after so many silent years? A Nobel Prize-winning physicist brought in as a consultant reportedly warned that the data pattern resembled what certain theoretical models had predicted for non-human communication, if indeed. This would not only be the most important discovery in Voyager's history, it could be the single most transformative moment in human civilization. The world holds its breath as NASA prepares to release a statement. But some are already asking, are we ready for what Voyager 1 may have found? As scientists investigated the signal further, something even more bizarre emerged. By running spectral analysis by means of the Voyager ... Telemetry archive researchers realized that this was not the first occasion when something anomalous had appeared. There were faint traces, echoes, if you will, in older transmissions from years ago. But back then, they were dismissed as noise. Static. Now, with fresh eyes and enhanced AI interpretation, those past anomalies began to form a breadcrumb trail pointing to a single point in deep space, across a direction, a region just beyond the heliopause, where solar winds end, and the true interstellar medium begins. That area, previously thought to be barren, now appears to house an energy field unlike any we've cataloged. It pulses. It moves, and it seems to react subtly to the presence of Voyager 1. It's as if the probe wasn't merely passing through an arbitrary region of space, but as if something there had been waiting, observing, and, now that it's seen us, starting to respond. Among the strangest elements of this encounter lies something that could rewrite the rules of physics. When researchers adjusted for Doppler shift and investigated Voyager's transmissions, they discovered a delay that didn't match the expected trajectory, a delay that shouldn't have been possible, lest time itself had been distorted. 1. Hypothesis floated inside NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Staggering that Voyager 1 may have traversed a temporal boundary zone in space where time and causality behave unpredictably. This isn't just fringe speculation. According to the data, Voyager's own onboard clock had a millisecond offset that simply doesn't add up. Some engineers believe the probe may have experienced time dilation, not due to speed, but due to proximity to an unknown gravitational or energetic anomaly. And if that's true, then what Voyager 1 is reporting might not be happening now. It might already have occurred, or worse, it's maybe something yet to come. Let's not forget, Voyager 1 didn't leave Earth empty-handed. It brought the golden recorder phonograph disc containing images, sounds, music, and messages of hope from humans. An introduction to whoever or whatever might find it. For decades, it was considered a poetic gesture, not a real attempt at contact. But in the context of this recent encounter, the golden record takes on new weight, because buried deep within the anomaly signal was a frequency, one that matches the tone used to encode sections of the golden record, not by coincidence, but by reference. It's as if something out there had received the message and was now replying in kinda reverse handshake. A signature one that had been expecting us to hear. This raises a haunting question. If something has received our message, how long has it been decoding it? How long has it been observing? And why wait until now to respond? And then silence. After the pulse, after the strange routing of data, after the impossible oscillations and mysterious tones, Voyager 1 returned to its normal, routine telemetry as if nothing had ever happened. But the team at NASA is convinced this isn't over. They're watching, listening, analyzing, because silence, in this case, does not imply absence, but rather decision. Whatever Voyager encountered chose not to reveal everything at once. It left us a sliver of the truth, just enough to make us question, just enough to make us look again. Perhaps that was the point all along, to wake us up, to remind us that beyond the veil of stars there are things moving, watching, waiting, And now that we've heard, the real question is, are we ready to listen? For decades, Voyager 1 has floated through the cosmos as our silent messenger, a bottle cast into the galactic sea, carrying our voice across the stars. But maybe that bottle did not just drift. Perhaps it was discovered. And maybe the response has finally arrived. What Voyager 1 experienced in deep space, an artificial rather than real signal. Rhythm, a reaction that breaks our understanding of physics, wasn't just random noise. It was deliberate, structured, purposeful, and then just like that, silence, as if whatever was out there wanted to remind us of its presence, but not yet reveal its full intentions. This wasn't contact in the way we imagine, no glowing saucers, no thunderous announcement. It was subtle, mathematical. A quiet tap on our cosmic shoulder, asking, are you really ready for the truth? Because if Voyager 1 did make contact, if this really was an encounter, then everything we thought we knew about our place in the universe has just been rewritten. The era of cosmic solitude may be over, and the era of cosmic awareness has just begun. If this story moved you in some way, if a fleeting sense of terror, awe, or wonder, do not allow this message to be lost. Subscribe to the channel, because what's coming next will shake the very foundations of science before the signal goes away. Let us know in the comments, what do you think Voyager 1 really encountered out there? Because the universe just whispered. And now, it's your turn to respond.